All right. So had a really good week last week. A lot of good conversations, and I think it started with a conversation with an old coworker friend of mine who now lives in Los Angeles. Catching up with him, he just bought a new home, and it was just a really fantastic conversation about where he's at in life and how he's spending his time and how I'm spending my time. Welcome to Real Fi Talk, where we talk about the ups and downs of financial independence, how to achieve it, and how to sustain it. If you like this type of content, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I'll read all comments and respond as well. All right, let's get started. So, yeah, I had a great conversation last week with an old coworker of mine, and he's doing really well. He's focused on his own health, physical fitness. He's been working on a board too, doing some volunteer work. So he's still connected to the corporate world, and I think he's thinking now though what he wants to do long term, and whether or not that involves going back to work full time or doing something part time, doing some consulting work. I think that's a question that a lot of people face. The other thing that happened last week was I had a conversation with a recruiter. The recruiter reached out to me on LinkedIn, and I basically told him, "Hey, I'm not looking for a job, at least not seriously. Maybe we should talk in the fall, at the beginning of next year." But we decided to at least have a conversation, a little bit of an introduction, and it was a good conversation. He's pretty well plugged into the San Francisco tech scene, so he gave me some updates on opportunities, and it sounds like he's quite busy. So there is opportunity out there, regardless of what you're hearing from the media. I think it really depends on what industry you're in, what type of job you're in, and whether or not you're willing to move. And that was one of the things he mentioned is, hey, there is opportunity out there, but there's very little opportunity for people just looking to work remote. And for me, that's probably what I would need to do, since I don't live in San Francisco and a lot of the opportunities are in San Francisco. So I'd be traveling down there quite a bit, and that's something I've done in the past, and not really looking to do that right now. But again, who knows what the future holds. Maybe something will change in the fall or early winter of next year, to be determined. Yeah, so the other thing that I did this past weekend was go to a bat mitzvah. Not a bar mitzvah, but a bat mitzvah. So, for those of you who aren't familiar, bat mitzvahs. A bat mitzvah is a Jewish ceremony that celebrates a girl becoming religiously an adult. It usually happens when she turns 12 or 13 years old. During the event, she often reads from the Torah in synagogue and gives a speech. After the service, there's typically a joyful party with family and friends. And the party was amazing. And of course, it's a small world, so ended up sitting down with people at my table at the party, which was kind of like a big wedding reception. And of course, the gentleman who sat down is also into baseball. His son plays, and we knew some similar people, which not a big surprise. It's a small community, so we had a lot of conversations about baseball, umpiring. He asked me about the new robot umpires, what I thought about the overturning of balls and strikes. I think whatever helps the game to be more accurate is a good thing, and there's so many other things involved in umpiring a game. Umpires are not going away anytime soon. So a really great experience, and I was happy to support my friend and my friend's daughter as she went through that great celebration. So that's kind of the update from what went on personally last week. Of course, a lot of anxiety right now in the world, geopolitics, with the war in Iran and the impact on oil prices, and then the impact on those oil prices on the stock market. I did hear in a podcast last week that maybe all this is, to some extent, is a way for the U.S. to get a little bit more bargaining power when they meet with China on a new trade agreement next month. So China gets a lot of oil from Iran, and if they deem that they're not able to access that oil, and that the U.S. might be able to influence that could be some some sort of leverage in the negotiations, and I have no idea if that's true or not. Let's see, upcoming this week, it's baseball season, and so far it's been cold and rainy. We had our first scrimmage for my son's high school team this past weekend, and it was about 40, 42 degrees and cold rain. The pitcher's mound was just an absolute mess. I felt bad for the boys out there, but hey, welcome to spring ball. We jokingly call it winter ball. But baseball season is off and running, and I've got my first official game, I think, coming up this Wednesday, and excited to get that underway. I've been preparing by watching a lot of YouTube videos on kind of edge cases, how to handle lineups, the new player DH rules, which is different than traditional DH. Sorry if I'm going in the weeds on that one, but there's a lot to know and a lot to remember. But I'm really excited. I'm excited to get this season going, get the games going, make a little bit of side income on this as well, which will basically pay for all the equipment and the driving and the costs affiliated with the training. But it's still worthwhile to get a little bit of something and to know that your time is being valued. So I'm excited to get out there. But yeah, that's it for right now. And it's a beautiful day. I think the rain's going to start up here again in another hour. But for right now, really enjoying the outdoors. Again, remember to like and subscribe. And again, if you like this content, please share this content with others who might be interested in financial independence. And I'll see you next week. Bye.